Heyo! Got another quick, easy repair today on a Subaru, of course. This is a 2010 Forester that came in. Check engine light on. No real major drivability issues or anything like that. They got pretty low mileage, only 85 on this, and it's a 2010. So overall, car's in pretty good shape. They wanted me to diagnose the check engine light, so I took a look at it. And this is a pretty easy, straightforward one, kind of common on the Subarus, but figured I'd make a quick little video about it just because, you know, it's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. Nice easy repair for today. So we'll take a gander at that and see what we got here. Okay, so like I said, they've got a couple of codes stored here. The main code is P0134, which is basically just citing a dead circuit on bank 1, sensor 1 oxygen sensor, which is the air fuel sensor. So generally speaking, when this code pops up and you just have a code basically saying that there's, you know, really nothing going on with the circuit, it's pretty indicative of a dead sensor. Car's 15 years old. I'm guessing it's the original sensor, so that would check out. So just to kind of show you here, I've got the data pulled up on the scanner here, so we can kind of see what we have for values. Start the car up quick here. So right now, cold engine, firing it up. Rear oxygen sensors giving me no volts, and air fuel sensor 1 we have a reading of 0.98, looks like. So now we're starting to see a little bit of movement on that rear oxygen sensor voltage, starting to creep up a little bit. No milliamp reading on the air fuel sensor right now. Ohms resistance on it bumping a little bit between like 150, 170 or so. So you can see correction wise we got nothing. Rear oxygen sensors moving up 0.7. And there's really no other info coming through. Not a whole lot going on there. So take a look there. So on these Subarus, pretty easy to get to the O2 sensors. Both of them are right here. So you take this plastic cover out of the way, 2 little push clips there. And you can see down here we have one sensor here, one sensor here. The one on the right, that guy, that's the air fuel sensor. That's the front one, connects right there. This one connects back right there. So air fuel sensor number 1 right there. Very simple, just gonna disconnect from here. It's a little push clip there, and then this will slide off. And then we'll use our O2 socket to get that off, pop that out of there, switch it out. You could probably do it from the top. It might be easier to reach that from the bottom if you just take the plastic shield off that's usually there, but that's the sensor we're going after. So what I've done is disconnected the electrical connector there up top, come down on the bottom here, got the O2 sensor socket on it, and then I've got the ratchet kind of running over the exhaust pipe here. Take a little bit to break it free, but it's usually not too bad. So I did that, and then you can kind of figure out the best way to work it out from there. But as you can see here, it's a little bit tight. You don't really have to move anything out of the way to get it though, and you can kind of work this guy free out here. Now I tend to like to use factory sensors when I can. In this case with the O2 sensors, I usually go with Denso. Most of the time they're the OE manufacturer anyway, so you can get them cheaper. This particular one, 2349123, that is the air fuel sensor or front oxygen sensor for these Subarus. So like I said, Denso I've never really had an issue with. They always fit pretty good. It's basically the exact same sensor that comes out from the factory anyway. Alright, so one thing we want to check is the voltage, just to make sure that there is actually a signal at the connector for that air fuel sensor. So what I've done here is gotten the meter and connected positive to, if you're looking at it from this angle, it's the bottom right pin. There's a pin on the bottom right, bottom left, top right. The bottom right, when you're looking at it from this angle, that's going to be the one we're getting the signal from. So hook the lead to that, and then have the other lead just hooked to the negative of the battery, or you can use any good ground. And we can see we've got a solid 12 at that connection. So 12 volts there, that means we're getting a signal. Issue is going to be with the sensor itself at this point. So I broke it free from the bottom, and now I'm using a shorter ratchet up top just to kind of work it out. A little bit easier to reach from up top here, so I'm going to do that and get this guy freed up a bit. And then once you have it loose enough, you can pretty much just get it out by hand, like so. So that's our old sensor here. And if we look closely, we can see the one that was in here was indeed a Denso part, much like the one we are replacing it with. Alright, so the new sensor is hooked up, connected back up top here where it should be. That's nice and tight. And then I just put a little zip tie down here to kind of keep some of that excess wiring. Normally it's clipped into this little bracket down here, but the new one doesn't come with a clip and the old ones tend to break, so we're going with the zip tie fix there just to keep things out of the way. Alright, so now that we got the new sensor in, we're back in running it, and you can see now the air fuel sensor resistance in ohms is 31. That's a much better reading than what we were getting before. Air fuel correction -5, and you can see that you know, the correction's actually happening now instead of a dead sensor just kind of sitting there doing nothing. You know, we knew we had the voltage there, but we weren't getting the reading that we wanted from that sensor. So now, you know, cleared out the check engine light. You know, going to take it for a test drive, but all signs point to yes on this one being fixed. Like I said, generally speaking, go into a graph mode here so you can kind of see what's going on. But you can see with the air fuel sensor, we got those nice crisp up and downs. That's what you want to see with that sensor, air fuel sensor correcting. So right now that looks good. I think we've got this one pretty much in the bag at this point. Alright, so we test drove the Subaru and everything went good on it. Subaru's all good to go. So this one had the P0134 code. It also had a P0030 code. Same thing related to that. Bank 1, sensor 1. There's only one bank on the Subarus. So there's a upstream AF sensor and there's a downstream secondary O2 sensor. These codes relate to the first one, so that was a pretty easy diag, pretty easy replacement. Not much to that one, but you know, easy enough job to do. You know, if you feel like tackling it, save yourself some money. That's what it's all about. So figured I'd just make a quick video on that and kind of give you guys a little insight on that one. Shop's been busy with a lot of Subarus lately. A lot of Subarus. Don't mind it. Subarus aren't bad. You know, make some money on them for sure. So that's that, man. Get a couple more videos coming you guys' way, so stay tuned for that. You know, do the whole like, comment, subscribe. If you got questions, you know, ask away, I guess. Other than that, until the next time, we'll see you around.